Hey, what's up, everyone? My name is Lionel. Hey, I'm your host for LT Productions, and you are watching I Watch You Watch. We are covering Love and Marriage Huntsville. This is season, is it 9? Episode 13? I'm sorry, I'm getting so bad. No, it can only be like 11 or 12 or something around there. I'm sorry. I'm losing count. I'm losing count. Some of y'all need to go off of air for a while. I guess I need a bigger break than this holiday break. But yeah, I'm losing count. Anyways, I appreciate everyone for coming to my channel. Please like this video and also subscribe to my channel. And you can leave your comments below. Let's get into this episode. Okay, so I have a lot of thoughts. A lot of stuff was going on this episode. When I watched some of the previews, I had one way of thinking of things, and now I'm thinking of things another way, and now I've rerouted and thought of something else while watching everything. I think we start off with Mel and Kimmy. Mel says, since the mimosas with Mel, I haven't really had Kimmy over at my house. So I said, you know what, Sel? And myself said, who? You need to invite Kimmy over for a scene. So that's what I did. As a good Samaritan Christian woman as I am, I invited her over. So Kimmy comes over, looking kind of cute. The hair, I was like, oh, I'm kind of liking this style of hair, but it looks like it wasn't just done. I shouldn't be knocking it, but I was like, everything was cute on her. But then it's like, it looked like it was falling flat, but y'all ladies would know more better than me. Anyways. So they have whatever type of snack at the kitchen table. They get to talking about mimosas and Mel. Wasn't it so good and so nice? Every time she got something going on, she's got to get feedback. I mean, it's cool, but I mean, you still get feedback from the same two people that attend your thing. Let's start asking the other guests that don't have to film a show with you to, get the feedback. And of course, Kim was like, yeah, that's nice. I was just kind of surprised that, some people that were popping up and, how we do a lot of group events. It looks like most of us were in one room together because only a part of a group gets to come here and da-da-da-da-da-da. She did say, she said, well, when I was at this open house with Martell, everyone was there, the Fletchers and all that. Ken and Trish, they were there. It was brought out that it wasn't so coincidental that Martell and Trish had met. And somehow that Chris was the one that orchestrated them actually hooking up. And she said, oh, Mel did. That's interesting. I was just with Mel and she didn't say nothing. But she said, it kind of don't surprise me because Martell was hooking up what was supposed to be with all these older men that were supposed to be mentors and all that, but it didn't seem to help him and all this good stuff. And then they get on the subject of Trisha because Kimmy was like, I was surprised that Trisha came, all because she was kind of feeling a certain type of way. I guess it was something that you said. And she's like, what? All I've been is just kind to her and don't understand. I came to her event with a check in her hand for her kids. So, whatever. So, at this point, we know that Mel has just said, look, I'm not dealing with black and white. If I see red flags, that's just it. So, she's ready to call out Chris to see what's up, blah, 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 blah. And she also believes now, or she's now voiced that she believes that Trisha and Martell did have sex. At this point, I can't answer that because I have been defending Trisha because I just still feel like something was supposed to happen, but it didn't happen. That's what I think. That's my true belief. However, as story gets added on and stuff, I'm just like, what do I believe at this point? And nobody will just dead the situation. That's the thing that's crazy. What was I gonna say? Yeah. So Trisha, she said that she also does not like Trisha. I just made up my mind. I don't like her. So Trisha, you in danger, girl. As Quad told Lisa Nicole many seasons ago on Married to Medicine, you just ruined your career.
Lesbian relationships.
You have just ruined your career.
Whatever.
You have just ruined your career.
And the reason I say that is because Now, outside of how people have felt about Trisha, maybe even thought that Trisha and Martell slept together, now that Mel has put her signage on not liking you, guess what? Her fan base, who acts like they do nothing, are going to make it their life's mission to take you down. An enemy of Mel is an enemy of theirs on the TV show that she has no clue who you are. So they're going to dig and dig and dig and dig and dig and do everything in their power to take you down. And God is going to approve all of that. God is okay with all of that. That's what they said. That's what, when they fast and pray the next time, God is going to tell them to do this. And God is going to give vindication. That's how they're going to word everything and make it okay to go after someone. So get ready, Trisha. I don't know if you really want to stay on this show because it's about to get very crazy for you, unfortunately. And possibly Ken and Marquez, because you're not liked anymore by the true savior of the world, Melody Cherie Rogers. So yeah. So Kimmy was being messy and she brought a bone. People were like, well, why is she so chummy with Mel? But they really ended things when Mel said, you know what, I won't be bringing up, what's his name? I won't be bringing him up ever again. Da, 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 da. It won't be coming from me. So I think right there that they had an understanding. So then Kimmy just went right back to being whatever type of friend she is to Mel. Whatever. I don't even know what the next scene was. I can only go by, oh, yeah, I do. Destiny and Tisha, they're meeting up. They have not spoken to each other since St. Thomas, and they just want to catch up. They're at some type of biscuit place. And how things were going, it looks like it took a long time for the scene to get set. Meaning, they had to keep talking and talking and talking. You seen the time would go by. They get their drinks. And then all of a sudden, we see Martell coming from wherever he was, like Batman, being signaled to come into the restaurant. Martell is coming in with this tight shirt on, as if he cannot fit clothes. He needs his boobs to bust out of this shirt. He got it all buttoned down, sir. That is more that is more of a Ken thing. He can bust out of stuff. I see in the next episode, he's not wearing all the time tight shirts. That's you that wants to flex that you got this physique that is kind of there but not really there. Like, not for all that. You are purposely wearing these tight shirts, acting like you're just busting up out of there. Do you need a sports bra? Anyways, Martell comes in and Tisha dips. Her food just came. And she said, oh, I can't be here without my husband being present. I'm gone. Deuces. So Martell sits down. Destiny says, well, I commend you trying to come to apologize, but she's just not ready. Destiny, you set that up. Or production. I don't know. It's gotta be production. But it's like, Destiny, you let this man come in after the terrible things he said to ambush them. Ambush her. And you already knew what was up. You knew what was up with Martell when he was going to come to field day. He told you what he was going to do. And then you asked all of these provocative questions that set things in motion. And then you're the one that leaves. Your event. I was upset. Because, I mean, you steady want to be around Martell. Martell at this point is just trash. And it's like, you're taking up for him and you've seen his behavior towards others. I guess it's not going to be until he does it to you that you're going to wake up. Just like some of the other cast. Until it happens to them, then you wake up. But I don't understand why you would allow this fool to play around to act like your son is his. And he said that earlier in the season, like, oh, he looked just like me. Doing this stupid stuff that he knows is already trigger for social media and the fan base to go in on Destiny, thinking that you cheated on LeBaric and he needed to do all of these paternity tests. Why you gotta do it for YouTubers? Why you gotta do 50 million tests to figure out who is the father of a baby? Because LeBaric, once you found out it wasn't yours, wouldn't you be done? So y'all were quite crazy with that. So yeah, so that ended that scene. I don't know what scene came next. Uh, let me think. Oh, well, Tisha went to Marceau. He's constructing a house. So we're seeing Marceau in the middle of business, since y'all say that there's no business going on, And she says, look, all out of nowhere, Martell popped up when Destiny and I were doing our thing, and I got up and said, nope, I can't be here without my husband. And Marceau said, thank you, I appreciate that. I don't want you to be in situations where you're not protected. Many would say that Marceau is a punk AB. Does it look that way? Yes. Does he know that Martell wants a reaction? Yes. And I think that's why he doesn't go the extra mile. We know the a-hole that Marceau is. Anything on camera, I'm telling you, he's not going to do it for y'all. So on one hand, we can call him a punk AB, but I think he's also saving face for the camera. And he's not going to get out of character to ruin everything. That is the ultimate goal of Martell. And we'll talk about that a little bit later in this episode. So that was the end of that scene. And is the next scene this? Yeah, we'll go on to Destiny. Destiny, she's at her place. I don't know what to call it. It looked like just a storage unit. Everybody's making fun of it. But from what I've been told, and what she's not from what I've been told, is what you said, Destiny, is that this is the place that you're going to just be packaging your orders that you get, because you're going totally, at least for now, e-commerce. You did say some type of testing or products or all that. I'm like, oh, okay. We got a full picture of what this area looks like. But you're talking, Lance is there, Nell's son, and they're coming up with plans on how they want this place to look. He's talking about drywall. Why do you want drywall in this box square unit? Like, this is a place for a little child's bedroom without a closet, basically, and no windows, of course. So I'm like, why? Just package your stuff, and until you get to a bigger place, why even try to renovate it? And just bring what I would just suggest for you, Destiny, is just to bring some type of character into that space so that you don't feel any type of way about it, because you can set the atmosphere. Let me put it that way. I know people are online like, why we got to do this? Why is there another launch? I'm never going to put down someone who's still trying. I'll never do that. I won't. Oh, we find out that Madani, it means her grandmother and father's name mixed together. Maddie and Donald, whatever his name is. We get that. I guess we'll talk about that in just a second, because I think I've kind of went out of order, whatever. I think it was kind of dumb for production to do this, and I'll get to that in just a second, of what I'm thinking in my head. So they're there. Kimmy comes by, and Tisha, she comes by. She says, you know what, I ain't even mad at Destiny and all that. I just let that go. Destiny's my girl. I said, really? Is she? Because there's no way that I would set a friend is going to set you up like that. But this is where I'm just going to take a point out of Rodney the Voice's book. Because he says, why are we getting mad over stuff? Why are we more mad than the actual person? Why are we getting more mad than the person who was offended is? Because we're sitting up here mad and all that, and then 2 episodes later, they've already forgiven them and moved on. And we're sitting up here fighting and advocating for that person. So I'm hoping that Tisha whacks Destiny during the reunion, because that's not fair. And that is foul. Especially how you were acting later on in this episode, and we'll get to that in just a second. So, Lance leaves. You can tell what type of relationship they got. When he hugged her, he had to pick her up. I was like, oh, that's what's going on. So there's a lot of passion and heat going on in them Huntsville streets. So they go outside and they talk about the mimosas with Mel. Destiny said, I wasn't invited. And Tisha said, oh, I thought you guys were good. And Destiny was like, no, she's been friendly, though she's been talking a lot of ish online. And I think this was around the time where Mel was on TikTok getting views, let's just say it, and trying to sell her product on TikTok. And that's when she was sharing stuff about how she felt about Destiny, Stormy. That's when she insinuated that it was Stormy that was doing all these prank calls, and she had a deeper relationship with Arion. If y'all were in the Huntsville streets on YouTube back then, and then we found out that it wasn't her, but Mel didn't issue no apology, but allowed her fan base to attack her. Okay, but you know, this fan base is just angels. They talk about that, and then they talk about Sonny. Sonny was there, but Moses was not. Destiny had a smile on her face when she found out that Moses was in jail. Some people online were saying, well, it looks like Destiny just is happy that Sonny can't be laid up with Moses right now. I don't know. I don't know. I hope not. But anyways, she said it was unfortunate that he's in that. I don't want him in that type of situation. Then she says that she is planning Nell's bridal party, bachelorette party, all that good stuff. And Kimmy asked, so what if Sonny is invited? She said, well, that's the one person that can't come. And Kimmy's like, you can't really do that because that's whom she wants to be there. And then Destiny said, you're right. So if she wants her there, cool. But don't be surprised about if anything goes down. Whatever. So Destiny goes and visits her dad, and they go fishing. If you've ever seen any interviews with Destiny, she's always talked about her relationship with her dad and fishing. We finally get family background. Now everybody's like, why are we getting this now? I don't know why. Like, y'all act like it's all on Destiny. Do I think Destiny was not giving us anything? Yes. Like, that's been my problem with her. It's like you were in everybody else's business but weren't telling your own business. That was the thing that was bothering me. We're getting it now. Cool. We know that she's back. Cool. So, of course, I already knew this because if you listen to interviews, she's already talked about this. When she was with her mom, she ended up going into foster care. Mr. Don ended up doing everything he could to get his baby. And from there on, he had custody of his child. Whatever age that was, I don't know. They talk about his cancer scare. And they just talk about him having long life and all that good stuff. Cute scene. It's kind of, and then I was just like, producer, so you made her be messy and now I'm supposed to want to get my feels on about her with a personal scene, like I'm mad and now I'm supposed to see her vulnerable side. That was a very misconstructed episode, in my opinion, as if I was a producer and an editor. You would not put those two things in one episode. You're being messy, and then I'm supposed to see your vulnerable side, and then you be messy some more. Well, not messy some more. It's another way to ignite other emotions about Destiny. So anyways, Mel, she sets up to meet with Fletcher, Chris Fletcher at the popcorn shop or whatever. And Mel, I'm gonna get that. You know Mel. So Fletcher comes in, hey Chris, she greets everybody the same, even though if she's about to go ham on you later on. So they sit down and they talk about this whole Trisha thing. He gives his side. He says during a time when Martell was asking were there any type of hotties, and I'm saying hotties, he said something else. I can't remember what he said, at this gym. And he was describing someone. He didn't even know Trisha's last name. Or first name. Just knew the last name. He says that Martell went and searched online for her. And then came back to Chris and said, is this the person? And he was like, dang, you move fast. I want to see you. Shout out to Miss Bell from the Bell Perspective. Y'all make sure that y'all subscribe to her channel. She has a lot of insight, and she's bound to call somebody raggedy, which I do love coming out of her mouth. But go over to her channel and support her. I want to hear her thoughts. Because do you believe what Chris is saying now? Chris can be believable with that could be the way. I mean, if you know the internet, if you know this but Chris had to say, okay, well, she's a trainer or something, because how are you just gonna look up somebody by their last name without a picture, without some type of something, So hopefully he told him that she's a personal trainer, whatever. This video is going too long, but whatever. So Mel has some follow-up questions. She's like, well, I know that Martell was so into mentors, and it just seemed like that they were not really helping him, and they were during a time where when I left Martell, he was talking about you need to get some old women mentoring you. And then she said, well, what are the old men teaching you? And they said, if you do cheat, you need to cheat with someone that doesn't have that has as much to lose as you, and also to sign NDAs. And Chris said, no, that's not me. I've been married for over 30 years now. And Mel was like, well, there was a time where you did cheat. You did step out. He said, yeah, that was in my 20s. But now, Mel was like, in her confessional, like, I would like to think that people would change and all that. We never know within this group, but she's giving some benefit of the doubt to Chris. I want to see what Bell Perspective is saying, though. What was I going to say? So, he was like, anything about signing NDAs, that's something that Maurice and Marceau would be on and trying to tell him to say that. I said, so you just going to throw these two under the bus like that? These men have no loyalty at whatever the F-ish they were doing. Like, Lord! So to get yourself out of hot water, now you're going to try to try to put them in the hot seat. Oh, Lord, Chris. But that is why Mel left. Mel did not catch Martell cheating in April 2020. It's because his mind frame is that he wasn't going to change. He was just thinking that he was going to get smarter with what was going on, and wanted an older generation of women to come and counsel Mel to say, let him respectfully cheat, basically, even though she already has done that, but she was just done with it. That's why Mel left Martell, because of his mentality never changed. She said that many times, but y'all keep saying that because he was cheating. No. So Mel is just going to take Chris's word. She's going to come to the vow renewal. Chris feels like, I don't understand why that would be the bargaining piece on her coming, on whatever my answers were going to be, especially when you're supposed to be out of the situation. That's another point. It's like, if Mel, you're over this dude and all that, why does it matter? But at the same time, I got to be around these folk. I get that aspect too. But if you over and over it and all this stuff, and God is amazing and da-da-da-da-da, what's going to factor over the other? What your ex did to you, or did behind your back, supposedly 4 or 5 years ago, or where you at right now? Are you rising above the haters? Shout out to Candy. Or not? I just don't. Anyway, so we move on to Madani. Madani's having her product release. She's got home body scents and or home scents, like home decor scents and body scents and a body butter. I guess that's the new thing to do. Body butter, lotion. Just get you some shea butter. That's what shea butter been in business forever in the days. But anyways, body butter is the thing now, and the venue looks very nice. So I commend Destiny on that. The women sit down. Look, Trisha, you look. You don't like wearing clothes. You don't. But that's where I'll just leave it at. All the women sit down. Of course, Mel is not there. And they talk about the bachelorette party. Destiny is going on about this whole Sonny situation. Nell is like, look, I don't like what Sonny and Moses did to you. I'm just not going to judge her off of that. And Destiny said, look, you want her at your party. I respect that. I'm still going to be the planner over that. But it's going to help me to adjust how I am with you in my friendship with you, in my relationship with you. I said, well, why are you doing the things that you're doing with Martell, with the Scotts? Like, I think it's fair at the demands that you want out of someone, but you can't give it back to them. So that's not fair. And that's why I think these people need to really call Destiny to the rug. Do I like that Sonny and Moses were on this show at all? No. I didn't need to hear nothing from them. And yet they were the whole storyline for the first half of the season. So, I'm sorry, Destiny. You're a hypocrite. You want something that you don't want to do for others. And it's not okay with me. With other people, have your way, people. Have your way. But no, you're wrong. And I'll keep on saying it. You're wrong. Anyways, the women get up. Marceau and Tisha, they do their thing. And then, of course, Martell is there in his tight suit. Oh, And really, they were like, in their confession, like, I don't really have nothing to say. I thought we got everything out, blah, 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 blah. Martell sits down and still trying to talk about what Marcel was doing in the relationship. You know, and Marcel and Tisha are like, look, whatever you got to say, you should have said it. We don't care. You're still trying to find ways to ruin people's marriages, and it's not going to work. Oh. Martell, the stuff that you were saying up there, you just want a reaction. I guess you want a scene for the TV show. I don't know. I don't know what your agenda is, but it's quite crazy. Because you're just still insinuating Marcel did all this stuff. You're in a confessional, like, you know, Tisha's a good wife. That's the type of wife that you need. You know, he's steady. Marcel must really want it out about the stuff that he did, that we did together. He slept with someone after, of course, after me. I said, shut up. Shut up. Shut up. You're dumb. And he ended up calling Tisha slow. That's fighting words. Again, y'all called Marcel a PAB. But they said, look, you can't really bother us. We don't give a ish on what you got to say. And they were just talking amongst each other and just saying, you know, we're just I'll just say it. Unfuckable. Unfuckwittable. Unfuckwittable in every way. And forevermore, that's how we'll stay. Come on, shout out to Nat King Cole. Like, that's how there is. How it's going to be. So Martell ended up just having to get, Tisha ended up leaving. Marcel checked this dude with just one little phrase. Martell was just getting up, getting all huffy puffy, and Marcel rose up slowly and says that your problem with me is that I'm better than you. And I'm paraphrasing. From that point on, Martell had to just put his tail through his legs and walk off the scene because he thought he was going to get a fight out of Marcel. I don't blame Marcel for not fighting. I could use the whole street logic and this respect thing, but Marcel has mastered the art of being unreactional, or at least not getting. He knows his boundaries and limits, and that's where he's going to go. Martell, you are a loser, and you are slow. Your name is Slowtail. You are so weird and so crazy. And these type of reactions is what you used to get out of mail. You can't get it out of there, out of her, so now you go to other people. Whatever. Y'all give me your thoughts on this episode. This is too long. I appreciate everyone for being here, though. Please like this video. Also, subscribe to my channel. Until next week, Mel and Trisha, they get into it. So I got to see how this goes. But until the next one, peace.